my ticket, the screen said Ninja Ass Ass. Ass Ass. I went into this movie, disappointed by the pretty bad reviews, not really expecting much. I was kind of hesitant on seeing it. I originally really wanted to see it, but with the bad reviews and, I just wasn't really sure. But, some people told me it was pretty good, so I saw it tonight, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving Eve, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. I'll just use this as an example. A lot of people trying to justify 2012, a movie I thought was terrible. Just saying, it's just pointless, mindless fun, the action is so good, it's just so much fun. That's how I feel about this movie. The story is okay, everything else about it, is either bad or just alright. When the action hits, it's fun. It's mindless, it's refreshing. Just get your mind off crap and just enjoy some, silly, goofy action. Not all the action in this movie, I think, really works completely. It's not too shaky, it didn't make me dizzy or anything. A lot of it was way too tight, and it was too dim. It needed more lighting, and it needed to pan out a little bit, and it seemed like sometimes the cameraman was like, couldn't find the actor. It's like, where are you at? It's like, I know they're ninjas, but come on, you can solve that problem by just, kind of panning out a little bit. When you have an epic fight scene between two ninjas dressed in complete black in the dark, you need a little lighting. And then it happening. A lot of the action scenes don't really work. There's this big one in like this warehouse where ninja stars are flying everywhere, a bunch of people are dying. It was just ridiculous. You couldn't comprehend anything. Like, it was just blood everywhere, and it was too dark, and you couldn't tell anything that was going on. Some of the action scenes are amazing. One in particular, where, our epic, shirtless, bloody, covered hero is, like, taking on 3 dudes. That seemed so amazing because there was fire everywhere, so it lit it up. Finally, they found some source of light. Yes! Opening scene, I thought was dumb. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long 99 minutes. Opening scene, it's like, of course it turns into an action scene. I thought the violence was just really overly comical. And the rest of the movie really isn't like that. It's just like a guy's head gets completely sliced off, and then his head is like, falls to the ground, and they like zoom in on it. It's like this. And it was dumb. And it looked like a YouTube video, like a fan-made ninja YouTube video played for laughs. The movie doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't necessarily play it for laughs. Some of it's kind of like fun, like, ooh, yeah! It knows what it is, and I think that's why I enjoyed it. It's refreshing to watch a movie of this kind that's not like overplotted with this ridiculous story, of a prophecy or something that's really just overly complicated. The story's pretty simple, and I think, it's able to gain your interest for that reason. The story's decent enough to hold the movie together. I like the method of storytelling it attempted to use. Although I do think it's really slow in the beginning. It jumps from present day of this guy named Rizzo, played by Asian pop star Rain, and the past of him being trained. And the flashbacks are important, so they work. I just think that method of storytelling didn't really work to their advantage sometimes, because it would be like him doing nothing in present day. It'd just like be him walking. Just like going to the market, getting some noodles, and then they'd go to a flashback, and getting beaten up as a kid, then go to present day, throwing a little spike on a chain for a few minutes, and then let's go to the past. They could have found better ways to execute it, because they are important scenes. The story, like I said, is alright. There are some parts where I think it failed to well balance. There's this investigative reporter who eventually gets deeply involved with the story, but at first, when they first brought her in, I thought, they focused too much time on her and some of it got a little boring. But most of this movie actually really isn't boring. It's Ninja Assassin, just some fun action. I think for the most part, that's what it shoots to do, and that's what it succeeds on. For the most part, it wasn't boring, it was just a lot of fun. Of course, it could have been a lot better. The lead character, this ninja assassin, has the personality of this razor. That was a big problem. Some of the editing and camera work and lighting really ruined some of what could have been awesome action sequences. But some of the action sequences are really good. A lot of CGI blood flying everywhere. And like I said, a decent enough story to drive the violence. So, altogether, a surprisingly good movie. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. Like I said, it could have been a lot better, but for the most part, I think if you like movies of this kind and thought it looked cool, I'd say give it a chance. I'm not going to guarantee you liked it, but I did like it for the most part. I just like the energy and spirit of it. It knows what it is. It just wants to please the audience of this demographic, and I think it succeeds. It's just a lot of fun, blood everywhere, just lots of fun violence. They went all out on it, and I think they did a good job. It doesn't try too hard. It doesn't try to cram stuff in there to be like a quality masterpiece. It has a decent enough story to piece it all together to where the violence doesn't become too mindless. It's just a good ninja movie. Overall, I'm going to give it